my feet was hurting, man. And like I'm saying, like I'm talking about hurting to where I could barely walk. You know what I'm saying? The first day I had on some dunks, you know, feet was okay. Second day, I think I put on those, there was some Nike SB dunks or something like that, kind of mid cut. And boy, man, my feet was hurting. My feet was hurting even after I took my shoes off when I got back. My feet was hurting. If I think about it hard enough, my feet probably still hurting now. So welcome to Debt Free in IT. I'm your host, Mike. This podcast is for anyone who's looking to get into the IT industry, whether it's for a career change or you're just interested. I think you come to the right place. Last week, I was fortunate enough to go to Cisco Live in San Diego. In this episode, I'm going to review what I think is one of the greatest tech conferences on earth. So let's get to it. So if you're not aware what Cisco Live is, so Cisco Live is basically one of the big tech conferences that the company Cisco puts on roughly about every year. So in the past, it's been in Las Vegas. Matter of fact, that was my first time going roughly about 2020, 2021. When it was in Las Vegas, like I said, that was my first time going. And then this was my second time here in San Diego, roughly as we're recording this video. That was last week. So I went to Cisco Live in Vegas, which was my first time, and I was blown away then. And like I said, this time in San Diego did not fall short of me being blown away again. So basically the way a lot of people end up going to Cisco Live is basically either the job you work for or the company you work for. Basically, they may be what I like to call a Cisco house, meaning they use a lot of Cisco products. So they may send employees out just to learn about what's coming down the pipeline, what's new, you know, in order to get some professional development, learn about some new things. You can also learn about some things you're currently using, you know, at your enterprise. So it's all around a pretty good conference. Like I say, I think it's one of the best, but that's coming from someone who hasn't been to a lot of large ones. So the largest one I've been to is Cisco Live. So, but that's the one I hear about a lot of times too. So, you know, if there's other ones out there, please let me know in the comments. But like I said, basically, you know, your job either sends you or some sort of way in that area. But basically, I like these events because, you know, they're real motivational. So the first time I went out there, like I said, it was great running into like-minded people. So if you think about it, it's pretty much roughly around 20,000 people or more that kind of has the same mindset as you know, kind of that technical mindsets. Most of them probably doing networking, security, somewhere along those realms. There are plenty of them that's doing way other great things. So there's a lot of them doing software development. So you can run into a lot of people at these type of events. So this is a good event to network at because a lot of times you can see people that you may be seeing online, but you never met them in person, so you get a chance to network with them, exchange info, maybe exchange online info. So overall, like I said, the event or any event similar to this, I think is real good because, like I said, you meet a lot of people, and then also it's very motivational. So usually every time I go, I come back motivated to study, to try to get another certification or something along those realms, or to try to just get better at my skill set. So the first time I went in Vegas, that's when I had my heart set on getting the DevNet certification. As you all know, I attempted that DevNet certification, but I did not pass it. So going this time, like I said, I was able to kind of renew my CCNA, which was good because it was about to expire. And I do have another video coming up on how I went about renewing my CCNA. But I was basically able to go and renew my certification, which was about to expire. And then I was able to leave motivated once again to kind of tackle some more certifications or to increase my skill set. So next on the line for me, in my mind, I'm thinking Linux Plus. You know, Linux is everywhere. So I need to get on that bandwagon. I need to jump on that boat before it sails away. So, but like I said, overall, if you get a chance to go to any kind of tech conference, whether it's small or large, like I said, definitely go. See how you like it, because I guarantee you will run into some like-minded people. So it's an overall great thing, great experience. And the next thing I want to look at is what it was like out there. So basically, San Diego, which was my first time going out there. So it was totally different from what I had in my head. You know what I'm saying? It's basically large. I would say to me, it reminded me of the beach. So you see a lot of plenty of ocean, all that stuff. So like I said, I'm from the country. So that was my first time actually anywhere near over that way. So like I said, it was a great experience. And basically it was in this large conference area, similar to downtown, roughly. I think it's the gas lamp area, somewhere close around there. But large conference area, once you go into that large event center or conference area or whatever you want to call it, basically you had different sections of the building that you could go to for different things. So you had one section which was called the World of Solutions, where basically you go in that section and the only thing that's in there is different vendors from other companies. You can walk around, get free swag. That's where people get you see a lot of people getting the t-shirts, different little stickers, things like that. So World of Solutions, which was large all in itself, different vendors, a lot of people there, pretty good experience. And then outside of World of Solutions, you had your breakout rooms, which is where if you signed up for sessions, which whenever you register, you get a chance to sign up for different sessions. So this is where you go to your sessions. And actually, some of those sessions do give you CE credits towards renewing your certifications too. So, which is something new that I found out. But basically, you got your sessions in the breakout rooms where inside of the app, it tells you where to go, where it's located at. You might have a session going on the CCNP certification. You might have a session going on renewing your CCNA. You may have one going on DevNet. You may have one going on AI. Basically, you got probably close to about 50 or 60 of them going on at one time at different times of the day. Basically, like plenty of sessions. So like I said, that's also great because you go in, hear from the experts that deals with those applications. So like I said, the sessions overall, I think are pretty good. Then also you had an area where you could go to and you can do capture the flags. You can do walk-up labs. So basically they had a board or whatever that you can scan and it shows you all the labs that you can do. So you can walk up, do the labs. If you wanted to, you could go and talk to a tech engineer. You have the DevNet section. You had a section on the Cisco U where you can go in, learn about what's coming up. Cisco U courses. You can learn about the free courses. I actually found out about a couple of them that was free because around that time I didn't know if I passed the CCNA yet, hadn't got my results. But like I said, I went there. I could see the Cisco U courses, the ones that was free, that would give me CE credits to renew my CCNA. So basically, this place you had and I may be under talking it because it was a huge place. So roughly, I ended up walking over 10,000 steps daily just from going there, going to all the sessions, going back and forth, things like that. So it was roughly around almost 12,000 steps. So like I said, the atmosphere was good. A lot of people. So roughly, I think about 20-something thousand. So a lot of people was there. It was a great experience overall. And like I said, the atmosphere, I love it. So the weather in San Diego, was roughly that. I like to call it that sweater weather. You know what I'm saying? That's that weather where it's not too hot and then it's not too cold, but you can throw on a thin sweater or a thin jacket and you good for the whole day. So that's my type of weather there, where not exactly hot, not exactly cold, but I could throw on a good cardigan, get my Carlton Banks on, get me on a cardigan, and then pretty much I'm good to go for the whole day. Next thing I want to look at is just some of the sessions. So when it comes to the sessions, you had sessions that range from certification sessions, whether you're prepping for a certification, labbing sessions. You even had the advanced sessions that may have been on troubleshooting a particular technology. You had some that might have been on implementing a particular technology. So you had sessions for the beginner all the way for the expert. And then you also had sessions where it may be where someone tells how they got to where they're at now. So how they became a expert or how they became at this position where they're at now. So it goes into their storyline, which if you know me, if you've been listening to this podcast, most of the time I'm going to gravitate towards that storyline. because I'm always interested in how someone got from where they started to where they at now. So that's something that always interests me. I like to know the struggle someone went through. I like to know, oh, you've been doing this for so many years and you just focused on this one thing, but all that stuff like that, I like to know. So I like to kind of go to those sessions too. So I sprinkle those in there along with a lot of other sessions. So like I said, the sessions you had, sessions that range from a beginner experience all the way to that expert experience. So they had something for you. If you was there, they had something for you. It was something that suited your skill set in that arena, in that conference area. They had something for you. So then when it comes to networking, so this is the perfect opportunity to network with like-minded people. So you got thousands of them there. I guarantee if you stop and speak to enough people, you probably will end up meeting your mentor or someone you can stay connected with online that can help you out along the path to get you to where they at if they're at a higher level than you, or if they at a higher skill set than you. So then also it was good to just meet a lot of folks that I see online, especially on LinkedIn. So shout out to everyone that I've met online. So I'm going to try to post up some pictures. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be in this video or it may just be on my post wall, or it's probably going to be on IG and things like that too. But I haven't had a chance to go through all of them. And just take note that I'm not a vlogger or nothing, so it may not come out perfect. So it may not be nothing real huge and nothing to awe about. It's just going to be some regular stuff that I took with my iPhone. But like I said, it was great running into everyone. A lot of people I got a chance to meet, which those folks I might not have met if I wasn't at Cisco Live, just because of the distance of how far apart where everyone may stay, where everyone may be located. Quick pause. I'd like to introduce you to the Log Files. The Log Files is a weekly newsletter that helps you start your IT career with practical advice and tips powered by yours truly. I launched it in the beginning of the year. It's packed with actionable advice, resources, and insights to kickstart your IT journey. The link is in the description as well as pinned in the comments, so don't miss out. Now back to the episode. So the last thing I want to look at is some tips for someone who may be going to Cisco Live for the first time. So here's some things that I wish I would have did. Like I said, it's no biggies or nothing like that, but just some tips. So one of the first tips I have is when you know you're going to Cisco Live, go ahead and book your rooms and register for your sessions. So the earlier you register for your sessions, the more likely you are able to get in those sessions, because a lot of the sessions go away fast or they get filled up fast. So make sure if you know you're going, go ahead and get your room and everything. And then also register early for your sessions. And then the second tip I have is to wear some comfortable shoes. So, for me, I'm one of those people, I like wearing dunks. A lot of my shoes is dunks, dunks, basically Nikes, things like that, the basketball type shoes. So my feet was hurting, man. And like I'm saying, like I'm talking about hurting to where I could barely walk. You know what I'm saying? The first day I had on some dunks, feet was okay. Second day, I think I put on those, there was some Nike SB dunks or something like that, kind of mid-cut. And boy, man, my feet was hurting. My feet was hurting even after I took my shoes off when I got back. My feet was hurting. If I think about it hard enough, my feet probably still hurting now. So make sure you wear some comfortable shoes out there, because you will be doing a lot of walking. And then my last tip is to have fun, enjoy yourself, network and exchange info with a lot of people, especially if you don't want to give out your personal number, anything personal. Make sure you got your LinkedIn profile up to date. And then with LinkedIn, they made it pretty easy where you can just go in the search bar, hit the little icon in the search, and basically it brings up a QR code so someone can scan it with their phone, and basically it adds you to their LinkedIn and sends you that friend request or that follow request. So those are the tips that I have when going to any kind of tech conference or a Cisco Live. So that brings me to the end of this episode. Hopefully you found some value in this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you can find me at DebtFreeinIT. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at DebtFreeinIT@gmail.com, or you can visit the website, DebtFreeinITwithMike.com. Other than that, I'll see you next week. Peace.